Thank you for clicking on this video. Enjoy! I know this is where I need to be. That's not the issue, because if I press start, I have the little thing there. You've been busy with work lately, but you're glad to see you're still around. I'm still around? Well, thank you. Yeah, of course I'm still around, Beanie. Why wouldn't I be? I'm hoping to finish this tonight if I can freaking figure this out. But I'm glad you're still around too, Beanie. It had been a bit, so I'm glad to know you're okay. Okay, I might have to look this up because I'm not going to spend 20 freaking hours trying to figure this out. I had to summon him the second time. I'm gonna look it up. I'm not gonna spend... I've already spent like 10-15 minutes in here trying to figure it out. I hate looking at walkthroughs, but at the same time, I don't want to spend 3 hours trying to figure something out. Okay. So seems I have to go. Well, can you let me up? Thank you. Seems I have to turn the lights off this time. So does that mean? Oops. That those things up there are still active? If so, I hadn't noticed. That would have probably taken me a bit to figure it out. Yes, okay. There you go. There you go. That should do it. Sorry about that, guys. I had to figure that out. I hate looking at walkthroughs, but at the same time, I don't want to be stuck in the same spot for 3 hours. The other stuff was stuff that I could figure out by just searching around a little bit. I guess it would have been the same for this, but... Well, not worry about the Nogurt. Leakin got this. There you go. There he is. Greetings again. It is good to see you have brought me more Nogurt already. I see no Bleakin bodies. What may I do for in return? We need help. What seems to be the issue? The banquet is sad. Sad, you say? That explains why I saw the banquet crying just a moment ago. Entire world is shaking. Bleak thinks banquet is causing this. My guess would be the same as yours. The banquet is making the world crumble. We must stop this. Even if Banquet stops crying, Banquet can never stop eating mud. Eventually, Banquet will overeat, and destroy this world with its mud puke. Therefore, I must take Banquet with me. Where will you take him? I have been planning this for a while, Wum and Bleakin. This world may have no room for a creature like the Banquet, but my own new world can make very good use of the Banquet. The more the Banquet pukes, the bigger my new world will get. What's the plan? I cannot take the Banquet with me by myself. As you may have noticed, Wum, I cannot be exposed to sunlight. The location of the Banquet is dark, but not out of the sun's reach. Therefore, I will need you to darken the area where Banquet is located. Why can't you touch sunlight? That, little Wum, is a long and complex story. I'm willing to tell you, but it will require a lot of time. A lot of time which you may not have at this moment. Teach me everything. I admire your curiosity, but keep an eye on time. To help you understand the inner workings of our bodies and forms, I can teach you about Fnuist, Plump, Nogurt, Crentorium, Fnogurt. What would you like to be taught about? Fnuist? Fnuist is one of the three types of particles present in each and every creature. I like to describe Fnuist as the energy source inside a living creature. When a creature dies, the Fnuist gets knocked out of its body. Then, as the Fnuist is exposed to sunlight, it will disappear to a place I call Crentorium. Crentorium? Crentorium is both the origin and destination of life as we know it. It is hard to explain what it is exactly, but it is tremendously large and contains an incredible amount of energy. It is where new creatures are designed and information about past life is stored. New creatures? Yes, new life. New variations of Plump get sent to this world tangled with Fnuist. When both connect with the Nogurt in this world, a creature is formed. Once Fnuist depart from a body, it takes a copy of a creature's Plump back to Crentorium. With that, Crentorium can access all the information on the creature. How is its life? What did it learn? How did it die? That is incredible. Indeed, Bleak. What is its goal? Its goal? It is hard to tell, but according to my own theory, Crentorium is cautiously trying to invent the perfect creature. A creature that can inhabit worlds, survive its obstacles, but all while keeping the world intact. Once the Fnuist and Plump arrives at Crentorium, it is time to make tweaks and send a new prototype. Are we all prototypes? According to my theory, yes. You, me, the Bleakin, we are all prototypes for the perfect creature. But I do not think the perfect creature will ever be formed, as I may have complicated the process for Crentorium. What did you do? Crentorium's method has been working flawlessly until I intervened the cycle. Before the Bleakin, there was only ever one creature alive at a time. Every time the creature had a unique trait which was being tested by Crentorium, according to my theory. I was spawned in this world with an endless desire for information and knowledge. I studied my own body, and so I learned about Fnuist, Plump, and Nogurt. But as I grew more knowledgeable, I also became obsessed with sharing that information. I was starting to feel a real sense of purpose and control, but I knew that I could not act by myself alone. The information would have to surpass my lifespan. I had to invent multiplication to maximize the longevity of discovered information. Did you? I did, sort of. I learned how to turn Nogurt into Fnuist, but I got reckless in doing so and it cost my life. I replaced all my bodily Nogurt, got exposed to sunlight, and thus I was launched back to Crentorium. Did you clone yourself? I did not clone myself. It was only after my death that I learned how to spread Plump onto different objects. Turns out to be as simple. Just touch the world around you. I, however, was obsessed with surviving as long as I could, so I could maximize my chances of fulfilling a purpose. I determined that it would be safest to never touch anything. I would not get squashed by a rolling rock. I would not get stuck in the ground. I would simply float around for an eternity. Once I returned to this world in Fnogurt form, I managed to clone a Bleak. Bleakin used to trade Nogurt for new Bleakin friends. Ned made Bleakin life incredible. Suddenly, there were large numbers of Bleakin. As Bleakin lost their lives, Crematorium suddenly received copies of creatures with a high frequency. It never accounted for creatures to multiply autonomously. Unaware of the new phenomenon, it created the Banquet, while the world was still inhabited by Bleakin. I don't think Crematorium ever managed to adapt to the broken cycle, which is why more and more species are appearing. It is under the impression that new plump designs only survive for minutes, and therefore has lost all sense of direction. Cranktorium is in a chaotic state, which resulted in Finuous not being able to return and instead floating around autonomously. More and more species are being formed, even without my helping hand. Do you clone Wums? I do, sometimes. I could probably turn your favorite rock into a living Wum, but especially nowadays there's Finuous and lost lives roaming around in between this world and Cranktorium. If it is dark enough, life can appear by itself. Without me, without Cranktorium. This is way too confusing. Redav Ned understands, little one. Do not worry, you do not need to understand everything about the world in order to save it. Let's get back to business. The Banquet is currently in a place I call the Flip Side. It is on the same location where you last saw Banquet, only behind the mud wall. How do Bleakin and Wum get there? I've made it easy for you, Wum. Does Bleak remember the warp mask that Bleak has crafted many years ago? Yes, Bleak still carries warp mask around everywhere. Wonderful. Please give the warp mask to the Wum. Okay. The warp mask is a transportation device that will take you to a station I call Tucson. If you wear the warp mask, something that Wums are very familiar with, you will be taken to Tucson the moment you die. What? It does not sound pleasant, but I assure you, it is not half as bad as it sounds. In fact, I've made it quite easy to use, as you can press and hold R. From the Tucson station, you can warp to several locations in this world, including Bankrant's location. Once your body reconnects with this world, your original form will be restored. So Wum uses a warp mask to teleport to Tucson and then find a way to Bankrat? Precisely. Shall we meet in Tucson? What do we have to do once we reach Bankrat? Let's discuss that in Tucson. I will see you there. Okay, so Wum goes into the warp mask and warp to Tucson by dying. Or pressing and holding R. Alright, warp mask. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Oh. Ah, you made it. Welcome to the Tucson dimension. It is not much, but it does have a nice view. Behind me, you can see a statue made of different objects that connected with your world. All of these figures have a connection to a certain area there. If you jump into the corresponding bubbles in front of them, you will be sent to that location. If you change your mind, you can whistle to break the bubble. Oh, before I forget, this might feel strange, but since there's no Nogurt in this place, you are just like me, which means you can fly. However, I strongly recommend that you stay close to this platform. Whatever direction you would go in from here will lead to nothing but emptiness. You don't want to get lost here, Wum. To get to the Banquet, you must take the upper figure of the statue. That one is connected to the flip side of your world. Do you remember what to do once you are there? Nope. I want to take Banquet with me to the new world I'm going to build. As you probably know by now, I cannot travel through sunlight, so in order for me to enter the room and take Banquet with me, it must be pitch black. Your job is to make the whole room dark. Do whatever you must to make that happen. Got it. Float, float, float. So topmost. At least they made it easy for you to teleport places now, though. Wow, Scallywag. We've done many things, but what we're about to do, it might decide the fate of the world. Do you feel that? I think that feeling is called responsibility. But hey, after all we've been through, I just know that you're going to do great. I believe in you, Scallywag. Save the world. I don't know what that says, but sure. Wah! I've got to say, I really feel those cries, Scallywag. It really sounds like the banquet has no idea what he's doing to the world. It's kind of sad. Yeah, and I don't think Redev Ned and him are exactly best friends. I hope Redev Ned knows what he's doing. Me too. I guess we're kind of gambling with the banquet's future here, but there's no other options. If banquet stays, this world will be destroyed. So let's give it everything we've got, Scallywag. No matter how hard the banquet might struggle, we will prepare the room for Redev Ned's entrance. Let's save the world. Alright, here we go. Oh, I skipped some of it. Whoops! Too late now, I guess. It's already pretty dark in here, Redev. You sure you can't do stuff on your own already? So I guess I gotta find him first. Can you drop in? Thank you. That seems to be the end of it, Scallywag. We don't really know what to expect, so I hope you're prepared. I'm always prepared. Which is false, but I know that. This is it, Wum. There are some gaps in the mud walls that are letting light through, but Wum should not worry about darkening the room. Bleakin will take care of that. Wum should focus on distracting the banquet, so Bleakin can fill the gaps with mud and darken the room. What do I do? What does Wum normally do when facing giant enemies? If Wum distracts banquet long enough, Bleakin and Redev Ned will take care of the rest. Got it. Good. Believe in Wum. Hey, you're the one that told me to stop eating mud. What are you doing here? The world is collapsing. What? What does that have to do with me? Your tears make the entire world sink. Banquet doesn't like you anymore. Leave me alone. Oh, you're throwing rocks now? Oh god. Oh wow. Okay, dodge that. Got it. I need to... Oops, wrong button. At least I had food this time around. At least had food this time around with me. Okay, eat again. Oops, oops! Making a large mud ball this time, which so long as seems you're bouncing on the thing, it's not too bad. I should probably eat more here. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing and commenting down below.